Hi, everyone. Josh Rugger here in studio with your latest weather live stream. And here we go. Here comes the frozen tundra here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We're getting quite a bit of snow right now, as well as some black ice reported on those back roads, especially in the Fayetteville area right now. Let's take a look at some of those WeatherBug network cameras before we really get into the nitty gritty. Thankfully, most of the snow is not really causing a whole lot of impacts on the roadways. It's more of that black ice that's really causing those impacts right now on the interstates and highways as well as those back roads. But those temperatures are dropping off so quickly right now. And you know what, Katie? I think the schools made the right decision this morning. We went outside, we looked outside the Graduate Hotel camera, and it is an ice sheet out there right now on those back roads. So definitely the forecast verified this morning. Definitely seeing that flash freeze here in Northwest Arkansas. And thankfully, it looks like people that are out and about on the roads this morning are taking it nice and easy, which we love to see. I definitely do not want the kiddos out in these conditions. Definitely don't want to see what's going to happen as we progress throughout the rest of the morning hours. And you can certainly see a pretty snowy scene there over our Cartwright Mountain Weatherbug Network camera over Lake Fort Smith. Now, the good news is with this particular piece of energy, and we talked about this over the last several days, it's not something that's going to be sticking around a long time, right? So that's why there was less concern for the snowfall, more of a concern with the black ice potential. But there's that band of snow that developed over NWA. Again, this kind of rapidly developed very, very quickly. So it was almost nothing was showing up on radar right around 5 o'clock in the morning. But this band of snow did start to tap into that energy that was progressing off to the north and east. We didn't get that dry slot here in NWA. And we did see that heavier snow band finally make its way along the I-49 corridor. The farther south you go, it looks like the more snowfall you've seen. Of course, there's a heavier band of snow starting to show up near the Clarksville area. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some freezing drizzle show up in the higher train of Northwest Arkansas, even in the I-49 corridor as well, before all said and done. But that's why that winter weather advisory was for such a short period of time, because we weren't expecting a very long period of time with the snowfall. And thankfully, all the folks that have been out and about on the roadways this morning have been taking it nice and easy this morning. I know we got a lot of questions and comments going on right now, but let's take a look at that winter weather advisory that remains in effect until about 10 o'clock a.m. this morning. I think those northeast Oklahoma counties will be allowed to expire pretty soon. I-49 corridor starting to see the snowfall impacts wane just a little bit more. But again, the main hazard, and we've talked about this the last few days, really it's that black ice potential. And that will remain the case, I think, till about lunchtime here in Northwest Arkansas. And I'm going to show you why that is in just a minute. But black ice and light snow and freezing drizzle amounts, that's really what's been the main concern with this particular storm system here in our weather coverage area. So let's take a look at the temperatures, because it's just unbelievable how quickly these temperatures dropped off here in Northwest Arkansas. We're going to play a little game called Spot the Cold Front, and I think it's going to be very easy to find that here in Northwest Arkansas. First of all, look at the temperatures right now. Woo, they are dropping off quickly right now. In fact, Fayetteville, when I came in this morning, not this morning, I came in earlier yesterday, right around 11:30. But when I came in with Dan and Zach, temperatures were generally in the middle to upper 40s to even in the middle 50s in the River Valley. So we're talking about a 20 to 30 degree drop in a 6-hour time period in Northwest Arkansas. That is absolutely insane. That's why that flash freeze potential was at the top of our list of concerns. And that's why we're going to be keeping a close eye on that as we move throughout the rest of the morning hours. But 25 degrees right now in Fayetteville, 21 from Bentonville to Rogers, and 22 degrees in XNA. Do not be surprised if Benton County reaches the middle to upper teens within the next hour or so. That's how quickly those temperatures are dropping off. River Valley also experiencing very cold air at this time. 28 degrees in Fort Smith, 28 in Poto. And here it comes for Boonville. Temperatures already starting to drop off there. But look at this. Very clear and obvious where the cold front is. You don't have to take a class of meteorology to figure that out by looking at this temperature map. 52 degrees in Little Rock. We jog all the way up to northeast Oklahoma and Grove, and it's sitting at 19 degrees there, as well as 18 degrees in Tulsa. And all that Arctic air is really going to be funneling in over the next 24 hours or so. In fact, if I go to a wider view here of those temperatures, we're going to see that Arctic air funneling in right now just off to our north and west. And check it out. Dodge City, Wichita, temperatures right now sitting in the single digits and right around 10 degrees. It's going to be that way in Northwest Arkansas starting Saturday night and continuing really through at least next Wednesday. So this is going to be a long-standing cold blast here in Northwest Arkansas that's going to cause impacts regardless if we see a lot of snow or not. Sunday into Monday. And I know there's going to be a lot of questions about that. We're going to have a lot more weather live streams, but right now I'm just trying to touch on what's going on right now here in Northwest Arkansas. Oh my goodness. Look at that though. We had a cold front here that's moving through Memphis. That's that first shot of cold air. Then the reinforcing shot of cold air that's moving through Northwest Arkansas right now in central Arkansas. And then another reinforcing shot of cold air that's spilling south through Dodge City and Wichita. So almost like three different shots of cold air that you're seeing there on that temperature map. Absolutely insane. A lot of pretty colors there, which is pretty cool, but not very happy about those temperatures. So Hydra's asking, how is the power outage situation? So Hydra, the last time I checked, there was still some power outages going on in portions of Benton County. There is still 2,000 without power right now in Benton County, Hydra. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to try and pull that up here. So just stand by for a few moments. And just give me a few minutes to pull that up. Remember, I'm by myself right now here in the weather lab, so it's going to take me just a few seconds here. But if you hear me get a little bit distant, that's because I'm moving over to this computer right now, trying to pull up that power outage map so you guys can take a look at that real quick. I just want to make it as easy as possible. But the good news is the power outages are starting to go down. It's really Benton County where we're seeing the most impacts at this time from the power outages from all those storms that came through during the overnight hours last night. So I'm going to pull this up right now. Here's poweroutage.us. You'll notice that Washington County, only 24 without power now, so it looks like power is being restored in most areas in Washington County. But Benton County still has by far the most power outages at this time. 2,036 without power. Most of that is from Southwest Electric Power Company, about 1,400 without power there, as well as Carroll Electric Cooperative, 614 without power. So those are the two areas that we're watching right now. Both of those are working hard to get power restored for all those customers. But I do think that will be happening relatively quickly. Look what's going on, though, in southeast Arkansas. So we had confirmed reports of tornadoes just off to the northeast of Pine Bluff area last night, as well as wind damage. And it looks like the power outage situation is getting a little out of hand there in southeast Arkansas. So those storms definitely ramped up, and they are causing some big-time impacts, not only here in northwest Arkansas, but really across a large part of the state. Let's kind of go through a tour of some of these WeatherBug Network cameras. So it looks like visibility is starting to improve quite a bit here in northwest Arkansas. Mount Sequoia cam proves that point. Some light flurries being reported there. So snow is starting to die down along the I-49 corridor. Far northwestern Benton County really did not get a whole lot of snow, which makes sense. There's a lot of dry air in place there. So still looking at black ice, though, there over our Cooper Elementary camera. You know how you can tell? It's that really, really transparent glaze that shows up on the side of the roads there. That's the black ice that we're looking at right there. That's all that standing water that kind of became a frozen sheet. Thankfully, we're not seeing a whole lot of that on the back roads in Bella Vista quite yet, but if there's a little bit more mist that falls, that could be an issue there. So we'll watch that very closely. Fulbright Junior High School, a little bit more snow and ice showing up, especially in the parking lot. That's why I'm really glad the schools decided to close, because this black ice situation can cause some problems. Some folks out and about on the Bentonville Square right now, you can see some of that ice showing up there on the side of the roads. There's the Cartwright Mountain WeatherBug Network camera. You see that difference in elevation there. Let's take a look at the Graduate Hotel camera, which has been obstructed by fog all morning long. Kind of a winter wonderland there, really, along Dixon Street. So Fayetteville looked like it got the brunt of the snowfall with this particular system. And that snow will be staying on the grassy surfaces throughout the day. Not a whole lot in Fort Smith this morning, and that makes sense. And let's take one last look at that Huntsville camera. Looks like some snow still coming down there. So let's get to some of the comments that you guys have right now, because I know there's going to be a lot, and rightfully so, because we have more winter weather impacts expected as we head throughout the early part of next week. Monica's asking, any airport issues for today and this evening? So, Monica, there was quite a few delays and cancellations this morning at XNA. I do think that things will improve later on this afternoon into the evening hours, because I think we're going to get some peaks of sunshine here in northwest Arkansas. And that will help the road conditions improve pretty dramatically. But, for airport issues right now, I think we're going to start seeing things improve. And by the time we get to the evening hours, I'd be very surprised if we still saw a whole lot of delays or cancellations. I didn't get my bread and milk. Am I too late? You are not. You can actually get that bread and milk tomorrow, because you're going to want it, because it's time to hunker down as we go throughout the early part of next week. Not necessarily because of how much snow we're going to see, but because of how cold those temperatures are going to be. Check out that, though, the Huntsville camera. That's quite a bit of blowing snow that's going on there, kind of a tundra in the higher terrain of Madison County. Still got maybe an hour or so left before that snow moves out of Huntsville. Absolutely, Katie. I appreciate you engaging with the weather live streams, asking so many good questions. And yeah, definitely going to be keeping an eye on everything as we head throughout the next several days here in Northwest Arkansas. Totally worth making the day up this summer. Jackie, I mean, again, it's one of those situations where it's very hard to gauge. Looking at what's going on right now, especially on the back roads of Northwest Arkansas, I think the schools made the right decision this morning. And I think just keeping the kiddos at home, keeping everybody safe, I think that's the best course of action. Looking at what's going on right now, obviously it's a hindsight situation. If we didn't see snow this morning, maybe we can look back on that and see what we need to do with the forecasting process. But based on what's going on right now, I think the schools made the right decision to not have school this morning here in Northwest Arkansas. Going off of radar, Franklin County might have the most snowfall. So, Mitchell, you may be right, but it is a lot of that winter mix is still falling with temperatures above freezing right now near the Clarksville area. So, still not ruling out some good accumulations there in Franklin County. There is some banding going on, some convective banding. But it does look like a lot of dry air is beginning to intrude as well on the backside of that system. It's really a short window of snowfall opportunity here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Good morning to you as well, Michelle from Prairie Grove. Hope you're doing well this morning and hope you're staying nice and warm. It's snowing in Evansville and very slick, Tiffany. I'm not surprised to hear that. That's the higher terrain of NWA. And yeah, Evansville probably a little bit more slick than what we're seeing along the I-49 corridor for sure. It's really those back roads and side streets that are the problems right now. The interstates and highways are mostly okay, but the back roads are kind of an issue right now. Melody, I think I answered your question, but I don't know if I have, so I'm going to touch on it one more time. I think this afternoon and evening, the roads are going to be dramatically improved. I think the road crews are going to be able to get out there once all this snow stops. They're going to be able to get the ice melt. They're going to be able to get the salt and brine down there, and I think things are going to be okay later on this afternoon into the evening. Do you think it will be okay to travel to Siloam Monday and Rogers Tuesday? So, Tiffany, that's a good question. Monday, there's the potential. Here's the thing about the system coming through Monday, Tiffany, that I really want to touch on right now. Whether we get 1 inch of snow Monday or 6 inches of snow, when really Sunday night into Monday, it's going to be impactful because of how cold those temperatures are going to be. Because we're talking about temps that are well below zero throughout the entire weather coverage area. Maybe not in the River Valley, but very close to it, especially if we get some snowpack. So I think there will be problems on the roadways in Siloam on Monday. I think there will be problems in Rogers on Tuesday as well. But it's definitely something that you need to keep an eye on as we head throughout the weekend. We're going to have a better idea of what exactly is going to go down with that system Sunday night into Monday as we get more high-resolution data in over the coming days. Alexander was supposed to go back to work today at U of A, but just not worth it with the black ice. And I know the U of A closed today, Alexander. The hills are a big issue here in Fayetteville. And yeah, I think it was the best course of action. It's also getting extremely cold outside. The wind chill values are dropping dramatically. Slick sidewalks, slick back roads. I think it was a good idea to keep the college students and the kiddos at home this morning. Driving from Rogers to Kansas City later today. Should the black ice clear up later today? I think it will. I think later on this afternoon into the evening hours, things are going to be relatively okay. Power back on here west of Huntsville. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Kathy. And it is snowing heavily, and that's why we're keeping an eye on that Huntsville camera right now. So I don't think the roads are going to deteriorate throughout the day. I think they're going to be better this afternoon. But short term, through about lunchtime, I think black ice will be an issue in Northwest Arkansas, but things are going to start improving right around 11, 12 o'clock, I think. We have a whiteout in Garfield. And Rebecca, unfortunately, our Garfield camera's down right now. Otherwise, I would show that. I'm going to try it real quick, but I think it's still down. And unfortunately, it is at this time. Oh, no, it isn't. Okay. So look at that. There's the Garfield camera right there. It's not down. And it's a winter wonderland there. And I can actually see a little bit farther down in elevation that things are a little bit messy in terms of visibility there. I'm gonna go to that camera real quick, kind of tilt it so we can see that visibility situation. So winter wonderland in Garfield right now. So I'm glad that camera is not down because that's one of our best ones that we've got. And just stand by for a few moments while I pull that up and try to get things turned around there. Where is that camera? There it is. There's the Whitney Mountain Lodge camera. We should probably rename that to Garfield Whitney Mountain Lodge so I can find that a little bit easier. So I think that camera is down actually because it's struggling to connect, and I think that's a still image shot. But you know what? You can see the conditions that are going on there. Definitely a lot of snow in the higher terrain of northwest Arkansas, and definitely low visibility a little bit further down the mountain. Thank you for your comment on Garfield. I'm glad we got to see a view of that real quick. Ooh, Kelly, I am sorry to hear that. We have no power in P Ridge for 9 hours. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys could get power on ASAP with those temperatures dropping off. I'll be praying for you guys right now there, Kelly. It looks like the power is starting to get restored for most areas, but definitely going to be keeping an eye on that there for you and keeping you in our prayers for sure. Wi-Fi and power down in some areas of P Ridge. We'll be glad to watch on the phone for now. BF, I hope the power can be restored there as quickly as possible in P Ridge. Still about 2,000 without power there in the Benton County area. Braden says Sunday to Monday trending up. We'll look at Sunday to Monday real quick as well, Braden, and look at the latest details. I haven't gotten a chance to look at the latest models. So why is there a difference in the GFS and Euro for Sunday to Monday? Dylan, this is a good question, and we're going to touch on that a little bit more. But short answer, because the models pump fake about 3 days out from an event. And because the system is not on shore yet, we're still not getting those finer details, but those will be fine-tuned over the coming days. The roads in Rogers heading towards Walmart, Pleasant Crossing, Boulevard are okay. You just have to be cautious. And Adam, really the main roads are fine right now. I think it's those side streets that you're going to have to keep an eye on for the black ice potential. Yeah, Mitchell, the models did give us a big pump fake yesterday. That is absolutely correct there. Yeah, Eric, that boy, ready to rock and roll. Already got the bread and milk. Eric, our super weather kid, a couple weeks ago, and he knows so much about the weather. Love that. Jackie's driving to the Chiefs game. Jackie, make sure you're taking it nice and easy on those roadways, but I think you're going to be fine. And make sure you're bundling up at the Chiefs games too. Woo! Is it going to be cold up there in Kansas City? Will the roads be unsafe all day, Grant? No. This afternoon to the evening, they will be much better. Okay, I've seen a lot of comments about Sunday. I'm going to get to it in just a moment here. Let me just catch up here on all the comments. Is it okay to get out this afternoon, Daniel? I think it will. Will frozen bridges and roads still be a factor on Saturday driving in from Texas? Amber, I think Saturday you're going to be A-okay to drive. Let's see here. Saturday looks great. Watched your live last night with the weather crew. You seem to think that the forecast for Sunday and Monday might be a pump fake. Is this still the case? So, Ronnie, we're going to touch on that in just a few moments. There's always the potential for a pump fake, but maybe the models are onto something too. So we're gonna be talking about that in just a few moments. Okay. I think I've catched up to most of the comments here. I know there's a lot of folks that are saying we barely got anything at my house. And that's really, again, the snow wasn't the main concern. The snow really exasperates the problems. It's the black ice that's showing up on the roadways. And there is reports of ice patches starting to show up in northwest Arkansas. And that's why we're keeping a close eye on it right now. Okay, so let's talk about Sunday. Because, yeah, Justin's ready to rock and roll. A lot of folks are ready to rock and roll. Let's talk about Sunday right now, okay? So let's look at some of the latest model data because, truth be told, I haven't had time to look at it this morning. I've been focusing on what's going on right now. But let's pull up some of the model data that we're seeing on Pivotal Weather, on Weather Bell, and let's take a look at those latest details. So we're going to share the screen here. Stand by for just a few moments, and let's take a look at all that. And by the way, I've been up for the last 16 plus hours, so if I sound a little groggy or I sound a little out of it, well, first of all, that's because I am, and second of all, I do apologize in advance for that. So here's a weather bell. I'm going to pull this up full screen here. So here's the latest 6Z model run from Weather Bell and from the European model. Now, you look at that, and this is showing up for Sunday to Monday, and you're looking at that right now, and that's not a whole lot. It's staying consistent for northwest Arkansas with dry air winning out and preventing us from seeing a whole lot of precipitation. That's certainly a possibility. That's certainly something that could happen still. And we're going to have to watch this trend very closely. Now, remember, though, the system is still about 1,000 miles off of shore right now. So there's a lot of time for this to change. Let's take a look at the GFS deterministic model. So the GFS has quite a bit more snow. That's for the same time period. And you're seeing 3, 4, 5-inch snow amounts. Now, remember, this is with a 10-to-1 snowfall ratio. So this is piling up a little bit more. than what that model is showing because we're going to be more at 20-to-1 snowfall ratio. So again, there's a split now starting to show up for the models. Which model is going to win out? I personally, right now, am leaning more towards the GFS, and that's kind of rare for me to say, but I lean more towards the GFS because with these Arctic air masses, I think the European does tend to struggle with the dry air. I think it overcompensates for the temperatures being so low, and I think it tears apart that system a little bit too quickly. So I'm leaning more towards a GFS solution. I think it's more in between what we're looking at right now with the models. I think if I were to give a preliminary snowfall total, it's 2 to 4 inches with that system that's moving through as we push throughout Sunday night into Monday. And it's even showing more snowfall for Tuesday as well. And I think there's going to be more pieces of energy moving through Tuesday that the European model is not even picking up on. So let's look at the ensembles for the European. This is the total snowfall ensemble from the European model, and it's not all that impressive. But remember, we just talked about the biases that the European has. GFS does have a bias towards more snowfall. I think it's somewhere in between right now. You're looking at the control, you're looking at the mean. It's showing about a half inch to an inch. But remember, this is with the 10-to-1 snowfall ratio. So it will be a little bit higher than what that's showing there. Let's look at the GFS total snowfall for the ensembles, and it's showing quite a bit more. So we're starting to see a big split between the models right now, and this just causes more headaches here in the weather lab. I know it causes more headaches for you folks at home, and trust me, this is why I cannot stand forecasting winter weather because this always happens 3 to 4 days out. We always see this big split in the model runs. So let's look at some of the maps that the models are showing. Why is the European model showing less snow in Northwest Arkansas? Well, it's because of the piece of energy getting elongated. And you can see that here on the 500 millibar heights and vorticity. There's a system moving through right now that we're seeing in Northwest Arkansas. And here comes the piece of energy. Look at Washington State and Nevada. This piece of energy is not going to arrive on shore until Saturday night. So Saturday night into early Sunday morning, this piece of energy is arriving on shore. We are not going to know the full details with this system until really Sunday morning. And I know that kind of sounds like a cop-out answer in terms of, oh, well, you're just trying to cop out in terms of saying we're not going to know anything until 12 hours out. But that's really the reality with a system like this because it's not moving through very quickly. And we've got multiple different pieces of energy to work with here. Now, what the European is doing is it's elongating that main piece of lift, and it's kind of tearing this system apart as it moves through Northwest Arkansas. And look at this. Tuesday, it doesn't go out that far, but there's another piece of energy that's diving south and east Monday night to Tuesday that I think is going to cause the potential for more snow. But I think the European model is not picking up on all the details quite yet. And I think there's a lot of things that we still got to fine tune there. Let's look at the how the system's going to evolve here. So let's look at the snow depth, which I think is a better indicator of what we could see with this system. So I'm going to go to I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to go to the central United States. Let's get even closer. Let's just get into Northwest Arkansas here. Let's get to Arkansas. And let's look at that snow depth. So this, I think, is a better method of viewing the snow. I still don't know if this is based off a 10-to-1 ratio or what the model is equating here. But I still think it's better because it takes compaction and melting into account. Now, first of all, European kind of busted this morning because we're already starting to see snowfall accumulation in the higher terrain of Northwest Arkansas and in areas of Fayetteville. So we already have some snow on the ground right now in some portions of NWA. But here's a system that comes through, and look, it's showing like 1 to 3 inches in the river valley. And hey, maybe that system does take a more southerly track and favors southern Arkansas. That's certainly a possibility. But if you go to the GFS model, it's going to give you a completely different solution because that's for the same time period, and it's showing quite a bit more snow across Northwest Arkansas. And it's showing an additional piece of energy moving through Monday night to Tuesday that we need to start taking into account right now in our 7-day forecast, which is why I added a 20% for Tuesday. And if that piece of energy does move through, we are talking about more snowfall potential. So there's a big split in the models. So here's my recommendation to everybody that's watching out here right now. And now that we're geeking out a little bit, I'm sure we lost some viewers. But my recommendation with the system Sunday into Monday, and perhaps even a little bit further down the line towards Tuesday. Stay, stay weather aware. Stay tuned to the latest details, and regardless of if we get an inch of snow or 6 to 7 inches or higher amounts, you you need to be prepared for impacts because we're going to see impacts no matter how much snow falls with this system because temperatures are going to be so cold across our area. We're talking about temperatures well below zero with wind chill values between -20 to perhaps -25 degrees in portions of northwest Arkansas. This is real deal Siberian air that can cause impacts. And here's the deal. We're close enough now that I can show you the NAM model. Now, the NAM is not typically the best when it comes to precipitation, and it doesn't go all the way out. It goes, well, the 12Z run's still coming in, so we could go back to the 6Z run. And granted, this is the Kashira snowfall totals, and it's a little bit different than snow depth, but it is showing more snowfall. This is a medium range model. So it is showing more snowfall in northwest Arkansas. So take that into account here when it comes to this system that's coming up next week. Already the mid-range models are showing more in NWA. So these types of models can pick up on those smaller scale details a little bit better than the European and even GFS can. So take this into account right now. We're certainly going to be watching that very closely. Here's this is even better. This is the snow depth change. And it's showing some snowfall showing up in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Quite a bit of it. So we're gonna have to watch this very, very closely there. Let's look at the temperatures because really what the NAM does best is temperatures and picking up on the Arctic air masses. Let's go to apparent temperature here because this is your wind chill values. And ooh boy, here comes that reinforcing shot of cold air. So we have the first shot of cold air moving through right now, but the true Arctic blast doesn't move through until Saturday night and Sunday. Look at that wind chill values in the negative teens. We're talking wind chill advisories in northwest Arkansas. Of course, wind chill values will be even colder than what this model is showing if we do indeed have a snowpack in place here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. So we're taking that into account right now. And again, that's a higher resolution model. Let's see if the NAM 3 kilometer can go out that far. So it's showing some bone chilling wind chills as well. Maybe not as aggressive as the lower res NAM, but the point is that this is going to be a true Arctic blast. Let's see how far it can go out too with the precipitation type. So there you go. This is Sunday afternoon into the evening, and it's showing a band of snow moving through northwest Arkansas. How much that stays together is still to be determined. If we go to the longer range NAM here, I'm sure it's going to keep it together, and it sure enough, it does. So this is for a 3-hour period. So this is Sunday at 12 at noon, 3 o'clock p.m., 6 o'clock p.m., 9 o'clock p.m., and midnight. So it does kind of take the snow out pretty quickly, but it is a very heavy band of snow. So that could pile up relatively quickly in northwest Arkansas. So we're starting to get a better idea of what will go down. But again, all this is subject to change. And a lot of this is going to change as we move throughout the next several days and as we move throughout this time period in northwest Arkansas. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. You've kind of seen an idea of what we're expecting now with everything that's going down next week here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. So now I'm going to get back to the comments here. So let's go back to everything here, and let me scroll up here so I can get to all the comments. And then we're going to wrap up this weather live stream because here's the deal. I am running on complete fumes right now. Truth be told, I'm ready to get home and get some rest and get ready to rock and roll for next week. The good news is that Zach Gilday is going to be here later on this evening, and he's going to have more updates on what we're seeing with the models and what we're expecting as we go throughout the early part of next week. So let me get to the comments here. Got all the groceries and Thai food to last me till next weekend. Alexander, might have to party at your place right there. That sounds like a fun time right there with some Thai. It must be going to be a decent snow if the model's pump fake and still show snow. And that's true, David. I mean, again, sometimes, when the models do that, it's not a pump fake. Sometimes it is the real deal. So we have to consider that. But the European is really the only model right now that's showing lesser snowfall totals. We just looked at the NAM. The NAM is showing still a pretty good amount of snow here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. So we'll certainly have to keep an eye on that. Justin, just looked at those snowfall totals for you. Hope that answered some of your questions. Again, there's a lot of things that are going to be changing. Daniel, tonight for dinner, I'm having warm chili and playing some Halo tonight. Daniel, you sound like you're a cool dude to hang out with. And I'll tell you what, Daniel, hopefully that chili has some beans in it because I am one of those guys that I say it's not chili without the beans. And I know there's some folks that disagree with that, but I say if you don't have beans in it or you don't have some other topping, it's just meat soup. And that's what I've got to say on that matter. And debate in the comments, if you will. But I think I probably lost about 200 viewers right there with that hot take about chili. I think it has to have beans in it in order to be called chili. But that's just my opinion on the matter. And we'll move on from there. Mitchell, just a mix of Baja Blast with an energy drink. You'll get all that energy back. So, Mitchell, you're exactly right. There's going to be energy next week. I think we're going to see snow. The question at this point is how much snow falls and what the track of that system is going to be. Absolutely, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining in on the weather live stream today and for your kind comments over the last several days and good questions as well. Driving conditions better today or tomorrow? They are going to be better tomorrow, Meredith, but I really think they're going to be improved by the time we get to the afternoon and evening hours here in Northwest Arkansas. Okay, iDrive is showing a one-car accident in the right shoulder southbound exit 83. So let's look at that real quick. Thank you so much for the comment. I'm going to try and pull that up right now. Stand by for just a few moments. So I do see that accident. I'm going to take a look at that. So the good news is it looks like this accident is perhaps a one-vehicle accident. Yep, so here's that black ice that we're talking about, getting somebody. And I'm going to show you this right now. I know we got a lot of comments saying, Benton County, we didn't see anything. Rogers, there's nothing on the roads. That's not necessarily true, folks. And I'm going to show you why that is right now. Let's go back here to weather 3. Let's pull it up. And I'm going to move myself out of the way and look at that. That's a pretty big one-vehicle accident right now. Hopefully that person's okay. But they ran into black ice. And that's what's most dangerous about this system. It's not the snow. It's the stuff you can't see, the stuff that's transparent, that thin layer, that thin glaze of ice that develops with those temperatures rapidly dropping off. That's why you still need to take it nice and easy through at least lunchtime because we could have more accidents this morning. And thankfully, it looks like people are mostly taking it nice and easy right now and driving very slowly. I mean, look at this. So this is traveling southbound. The car is flipped northbound. So this person skirted along the side of the road and then flipped backwards. This is why black ice is so dangerous. And that's why I keep stressing the fact that even though it's hard to see, even though it may be deceptive outside, you need to take it nice and easy. Thank you so much for the comment. I'm gonna go through iDrive Arkansas one more time here before I get to more comments. I just want to make sure there's no other accidents on the interstates. Okay, here we go. The Bobby Hopper Tunnel area right there. Looks like an accident reported as well. That's going to be in the a rollover accident. Oh my goodness. I hope that person's okay. That's near the West Fork area. And you know what, folks? The reason why I emphasize this so much is because I personally have gotten into a one-vehicle accident before because I drove too fast in hazardous weather conditions, and that's why I'm so amped up about this, and that's why I'm trying to push to take it easy and avoid travel if possible. Just because it can be dangerous, it can sneak up on you. It can get the best of us on the roadways, and so just be careful. And I hope that person's okay that had that rollover accident. That's a rough stretch of the interstate right there, and man, that's just tough news to see right there with the rollover accident along I-49. So that's the two accidents that we're seeing right now. I'm gonna keep it on this accident because we actually have a camera shot on it. So we're gonna keep it right there. I'm gonna get to more of your questions and comments right now. Let's see here. Could you explain what a 10-to-1 ratio for snow is? This was at 8:31, Mitchell. I hope you're still on here. But so a 10-to-1 ratio for snow is assuming that the temperature is 32 degrees at the surface and that the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere are also right around freezing. So a 10-to-1 ratio is going to be that wet, thick snow that sticks to a lot of things, right? That's what causes our power outage concerns. That's what causes the nightmares on the interstates and highways, and that's what makes it really difficult for road crews to get out there. 17-to-1, 20-to-1 snow ratio, that's when you're starting to talk about surface temperatures between 10 to 20 degrees. And that's the ratio that we're going to see early next week. And that favors more of a dry, fluffier snow that can cause impacts on the roads, but is a little bit easier for those road crews to clean up. So that's what we're going to see as we go throughout the early part of next week. Let's see here. Is there a free solid alternative to Weatherbill? Good question. Pivotal weather is good. You don't have access to everything on pivotal weather, but you do have some basic access to model data. COD Meteorology, which is the College of DuPage, actually does have almost full access to all the model data there. So that's another good alternative to have. The College of DuPage, you're going to look up the numerical models on there, and you'll be able to view a lot of that stuff there. Good question. Roads in Bentonville, pretty hazardous right now, Amanda. Even though there's not a whole lot of activity with the snow, the black ice is causing issues. Sunday morning church time should be good, Eddie. I think church is going to be okay. I'm going to be at church Sunday. I think the travel conditions will be fine Sunday morning. It's really Sunday afternoon to the evening hours with things that are really starting to get out of hand. Will we be breaking records for cold temperatures next week? Clarissa, it is certainly possible. I think Monday night and Tuesday, we are going to break a record because the record low temperature is 0 degrees. And I think we're going to be way below that if we have snowpack on the ground. Even if we don't have snowpack, I think there's a potential for that record to fall. How are the roads from Bella Vista to Rogers? My husband is about to leave for work and I'm nervous. So the roadways, the back roads are the problem, Olivia. I think the interstates are better, but you're looking at this accident right now. Black ice is still a problem. I think if you drive carefully this morning, you're going to be okay in Bella Vista and Rogers once you get to the interstates and highways. But just drive very cautiously, especially on those hilly areas. I know Bella Vista and Rogers can be very hilly. I live in Bella Vista, and there is quite a few problems there. Let's see here. Beans mentioned. Oh boy, we got a lot of comments here. Okay. Beans, cheese, and sour cream. Okay, Liz, I like that. Beans, says Jeff. Okay. So I'm getting a lot more support here than I thought I would this morning. I appreciate all of you fine viewers out there. It's not chili without the beans. I agree. Yes, beans and beef for chili. Beans must be included. There always should be beans. Look at all these great comments. I love this right here. If it's on a hot dog, then no beans. Okay, Becky, I agree with that. You got me on that one. Chili dogs, no beans. But basic chili has to have beans. It has to have some topper in there to add a little bit of flair to it. So I will concede on that. Oh, no, Ryan got me. Your chili discussion privileges are revoked. I appreciate your kind words at the end there, Ryan. And I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion on that. You know what, Ryan? Maybe we should have like a KNWA viewer chili cook-off. Not because, I'm debating you right now on the chili with or without beans, but just because I want some food. And I'm really hungry for some chili right now. So maybe we need to start that up sometime this year. Maybe that would be a fun time to get everybody together. Anyone know how roads are to Tulsa? Tulsa's fine right now, Holly, I think. There is some black ice, possibly westbound there. I don't really know a whole lot about what's going on in Oklahoma, but just make sure you're taking it nice and easy. I would delay travel to around lunchtime. I think after lunchtime, things are going to improve drastically on the interstates and highways. Oh, Tawny, I'm so sorry to hear about that. I broke a vertebrae and backsliding on black ice in South Carolina, and it's scary. It's scary. I've had that happen to me before. Thankfully, I didn't have any injuries during that. Definitely a blessing. But this is why I stress that importance of taking it easy on the roadways, because you see the situation that we've got going on right now on the interstate with this car that's flipped backwards. You have a rollover accident. It's just so imperative that you be careful, because this can sneak up on you so quickly. It's so hard to see that black ice. You're exactly right, Logan. I mean, that's what happened to me. I drove way too fast, and that's what probably happened to this person as well. So just take it nice and easy there if you're out on the roadways. Oh, I really appreciate your kind words, Tiffany. And we have a fantastic weather team. Dan Scoff, best chief meteorologist, not just in Northwest Arkansas, but really in this region. He knows this region. We learned so much from him. Peyton, Zach work their tails off every single day. We want to make sure everybody's as prepared as possible. And that's why we do these weather live streams. That's why we try to interact with everybody. And we really appreciate you guys coming in, asking great questions, and being understanding of the forecasting process as well, because this is difficult to forecast. Winter weather is very tough. A lot of those mesoscale, smaller scale details can make a big difference on everything. And we just really appreciate everybody's patience when it comes to this matter. So thank you so much for the kind words there, Tiffany. Really appreciate that. Exactly, Alexander. It's black ice, man. It's hidden ice. It's hard to see. It sneaks up on you. It's just why we say be careful. After all these years, you would think there'd be road heaters and Bobby Hopper. You're exactly right about that, Liz. I mean, Bobby Hopper tunnel area is just a death trap. It's just so difficult to drive, not only when there's winter weather, but also when there's rain as well. What are your projections on driving conditions Sunday going into the work week? So Sunday morning, I think is going to be fine. But once that snow starts, Saturday night into Monday, that's when the road conditions are going to start deteriorating. Really, even if we have a low amount of snow, I think there's still going to be high impacts because of how cold it's going to be outside. So we're watching this very closely. I would expect driving conditions to be a little bit rough as we move throughout the work week next week. Let's see here. Driving conditions tomorrow for students heading back from Texas. Absolutely amazing, Amy. I think driving conditions tomorrow are going to be fine, especially during the afternoon. Let's see here. Deanna has a compromise. Make your chili the way you like it. Beans or no beans. And yeah, we're just messing around right now, Deanna. If you have it without beans, that's fine. If you have it with beans, that's fine. We're just all joking around right now and having a good time. But I appreciate your comment. You're exactly right about that. It's chili's chili. It's good either way. This is a good recipe right there. Beans, brown sugar, and cocoa powder. Woo! My stomach's rumbling right now. I'm ready to eat. I did have some Taco Bell last night. By the way, I haven't slept a wink since 11 o'clock. I really didn't get a whole lot of sleep yesterday, so I'm just trying to push through it. I appreciate everybody being so understanding. If I sound a little bit congested, if I sound a little bit out of it, I apologize for that, folks. I'm working hard to make it through it right now for sure. And you know what? I really shouldn't be talking because Dan Scoff just pushed through a pretty major cold over the last 24 hours. So that guy right there, I know he's probably asleep right now, and he deserves all the rest he can get. Was there a tornado that hit Gateway last night? We have severe damage and lots of trees down. So Jackie, there was straight line winds last night. There was no tornado, at least based on radar, based on the reports that we're getting in. The damage looks like it's straight line wind damage. But there was definitely straight line winds that went through that area. And there was power flashes that I saw when I was driving in Springdale right around 11:15 last night. So definitely straight line winds, but no tornadoes as far as I know. And I think that's going to be the case. I don't think there was any tornadoes last night, but definitely very strong winds and straight line wind damage in portions of Benton County and near the Gateway area as well. Ooh, it's so cold and very windy here in Bentonville. I see homemade broccoli cheese soup for dinner. Woo, that sounds very good, Susan. I could go for some broccoli cheese soup as well. All this stuff sounds very good. Cocoa powder makes the flavor amazing in all caps. I'm going to have to try that out. That's a new recipe that we're going to have to try out in the Rugger household. Amy, I really appreciate that. And I love the team that we've got here, too. We've got a great group of guys. We got great reporters, great management, just great everything here at KNWA. And truly blessed to be here in Northwest Arkansas and to be a part of such a great team. We really appreciate that kind comment for sure. My mom said the hail we got last night was still there in the morning. Woo, Jacob, that tells you that when the hail's sticking around, it's a pretty dynamic system that's moving through the area. We had tornado warnings in southeast Arkansas, winter weather advisories in northwest Arkansas. We had everything going on. Imagine driving an 18-wheeler in this stuff, heading to shape for other drivers speeding around you 80 miles per hour. Yeah, the truck drivers, I really feel for them, TJ. It's tougher on them when we have road conditions like this, and certainly hope people are taking it nice and easy. It does look like most people are taking it nice and easy on the roadways right now, but if you must travel, just chill out and keep an eye on that black ice because it can sneak up on you for sure. Let's see here. Making tomato soup and grilled cheese. No chili for us since we don't eat meat. Okay, tomato soup and grilled cheese combo. We're rocking and rolling right there. That sounds pretty good. I need to get some grilled cheese when I get home. I might have to have everything that people are talking about right now. Oh, my goodness. I mean, you guys are making me so hungry. Woo, boy. Good old biscuits and gravy from TJ. My goodness. Taco soup. Deer meat chili. There's some good stuff right now. I feel like we definitely do need to have a KNWA viewer cook-off. I think we just all need to get together and eat some food. Because all this stuff sounds pretty good right now. Oh, my goodness. The recipes. Oh, my goodness. Gumbo with shrimp, sausage, and alligator. Lord have mercy. This is just an incredible stream. This might be the best stream ever just because of all the food that we're getting recommended right now. I need to write all this down. This is just the best. This is why we got the best viewer base right here. Not only do you guys have good weather questions, you have good food takes. And really, that's the most important thing right now. I forecast a 100% chance of amazing food takes here right now. And I could say that with confidence. Let's see. Okay. So, Leanne, you are congested. Okay. So, I do sound a little bit congested. Chicken ginger hot soup broth. Woo! That will definitely get your sinuses cleared out. That is for sure, especially with the ginger. That sounds pretty good right there. Let's see here. Banana pudding cheesecake. Oh, banana pudding with cheesecake. That sounds absolutely amazing right there, Kristen. Oh, banana pudding. I haven't had banana pudding in a long time. I need to get ready to rock and roll there. Deborah, KNWA recipe page. I think we need to get that rocking and rolling too, Deborah. That sounds pretty good. By the way, Deborah, am I saying your name right? Is it Deborah or Deborah? I think it's Deborah, but just let me know if I'm saying it wrong. I always want to make sure I'm getting our viewers' names right. So just let me know if I'm saying it right as Deborah. All right, biscuits, gravy, blue gold sausage eggs. That's like the full breakfast right there. Maybe add a little bit of French toast, and we're rocking and rolling. Man, I gotta go eat some breakfast after this. I'm about ready to eat here too. I'm gonna take one last look at iDrive Arkansas, and then I'm gonna wrap things up here, and we'll stop the weather live stream. Of course, Zach Gilday is gonna have all the latest information coming up later on tonight, and you don't want to miss that weather live stream because we're gonna have a better idea of what's going on Saturday night into not Saturday night, but Sunday night into Monday. So let me zoom out here on iDrive. Still have that rollover accident. Praying for that person there. Rollover accident that was reported at 8:27 a.m. near the West Fork area. So definitely keeping that person in our prayers there. Looks like that's the only two accidents at this time. Still snow-covered roadways going on. Now, here's a cheat, by the way. If you ever use iDrive Arkansas, which you all should have access to this, if you go to iDriveArkansas.com and you click on this little snowflake, you turn on primary highways and local roads, you're going to be able to see this map. But here's a little tip for you. Here's a little pro tip. If you click on the actual road conditions, it will tell you how covered the roadways are. So we're looking at the Washington County line to the Missouri state line along I-49. It says mostly clear road conditions with snow as the reported hazard. If we go a little bit farther east towards Garfield, we got partly covered roads on Highway 62 from Garfield to State Highway 23. So that's a little cheat right there if you ever use iDrive Arkansas, if you want to see how much snow is covering the roadways. I do think there is an iDrive Arkansas camera here near Eureka Springs. I actually want to view that. I think it's actually more towards the Harrison area, unfortunately. Let's see here. Yeah, it's more towards Harrison. Ooh, Cricket Creek is getting a lot of snow there. Look at that winter wonderland just off to the west of Boone County. So, yeah, definitely looking like some snow-covered roadways there. Are not a whole lot of folks out and about, which is for good reason. All righty. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I think we've got through all the information that we need to get through. Again, take it nice and easy on the roads. I am expecting road conditions to improve by about 12 o'clock. I think after 12 o'clock, things are going to be mostly fine on the roadways, but you still want to take it nice and easy just in case. We're going to have a better idea of what's going on Sunday night into Monday over the next 24 to 36 hours. Again, we just showed all that model data. There's one model that's really pump faking right now. It's the European. The NAM long-range model is showing still a pretty good amount of snow. The GFS long range is on the snow train as well. The ensembles are mostly on the snow train, though the European ensembles really aren't either. So that kind of gives me some concern there. But we're going to be watching these trends very closely. So if you want the latest details, first of all, you can download that Weather Authority app. You can find that on the Google Play and Apple App Store. You're also going to want to stay tuned to more weather live streams. Zach Gilday is going to be here in the Weather Lab all weekend long. Watch this very closely. He's going to give you the latest details on the model information. He's also going to give you a snowfall map, probably by Sunday morning. I think we're not going to release a snowfall map till Sunday morning. Just we need that system to get on shore. We need to get that high resolution data in, and then we're going to have a better idea of what exactly is going to go down and what exactly is going to transpire as we go throughout that Sunday night and Monday time period. So stay tuned to the latest details. Stay safe if you're traveling within the next 2 to 3 hours. Again, I think this afternoon is going to be a lot better here in Northwest Arkansas. One more comment I'm going to see here. Deborah, Deborah, like in the Bible. Thank you so much, Deborah, for letting me know about that. And yes, I'm going to remember that because I know my Bible stories, and I really appreciate you commenting, and I appreciate everybody that came to this weather live stream with their kind words, for their understanding of the forecasting process. And we're going to get you through all of these winter weather events as we go throughout the next several days. All right, everybody. God bless you. Take it easy. Stay safe. Enjoy the snow that we've got going on right now. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one.